401k, pulling out of your 401k.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, I was actually thinking about this, and I did a little bit of math on it. I've seen a lot of like financial influencers out there that talk about this. Not only Grant Cardone.
Before you go on, really quickly, for those of you guys who don't know, employee-sponsored 401k is a savings slash investment options in which your money some money gets taken out of your check before taxes due and gets put into a fund that an employer hopefully matches, and it grows over time. Okay, and you can only pull it out when you're in retirement, or you could borrow from it, or you could actually pull out from it. But when you pull out from it, there's penalties. You got to pay taxes on it. The highest amount of taxes.
Well, it depends. You could borrow from it tax free if it's your first.
That's what I said. Yeah, you can borrow from it. You could borrow from it. When you borrow from it, you don't get taxed.
No, it's not even borrowed. You could take your money out.
Really?
You could take your money out of it, tax free, if it's your first time buying a home. So that's
okay. So that makes sense.
So they do have programs. So if you're a first time home buyer, they allow you to tap in, take the money out tax free, and that's basically it.
Now, I want you guys to put yourself in a position where you had a 401k since you were 21, and now you're 40, and now your 401k, let's say, is worth like 200k, 300k maybe. What would you do? Would you borrow from that to buy a property?
Depends on the market. I'll tell you what I would do.
JCast podcast here and now. What would you do, Jay?
This is exactly what I would do. It depends on the market, man.
You got 300k racked up.
It depends on the market. If the interest rates are low, I'll take all of it out, man.
Really?
And I'll go on a buying spree, yes.
Really?
Because I know I could break up and divide that 300k and buy multiple properties, and I'll get my return on investment way faster and higher than I would ever get it waiting 25 years or 20 years or until retirement age.
So would you pull it out, or would you borrow from it, buy property, rent it out, and then pay what you owed there?
Oh wait, I forgot.
Or would you just pull it out completely?
I would pull it out and pay the penalty, which I think is 10%. I think it's 10% or 20%, something like that.
So you'd pay, let's say, worst case scenario, you'd pay 60k and end up with 240k, and then just go on a buying spree.
Yeah. Because I know I would get my money back quick.
And I guess.
Well, not quick. Well, I would get it back maybe like depending on the market. If
you don't gotta wait till you retire to start getting money.
Of course,
that's what you're saying.
You'll make your money work, and not only that, you're getting.
And, oh, by the way, this is not financial advice. We're not encouraging people to do that, guys. This is
hell no. Right now in this market, you shouldn't even be touching your 401k at all.
This is not financial advice. We're not encouraging you to do that. Jay is specifically saying what he would specifically do himself by himself. Not encouraging anybody to do that.
There's gonna be someone out there, man.
Yeah. So let me get this straight. Let's say you have $1 million by the time you retire, right? Which is actually pretty realistic. If you put money in your 401k since you're 20, even since you're 30, you have $1 million. Yeah. You're saying that you would take even maybe all of it, buy multiple properties, and then just have that money come in forever?
$1 million in like 30 years or 25 years or even 10 years is nothing. Well, it's not a lot if you think about it, especially with the cost of living going up.
And let's put things in perspective for you people. Basically, if you have money in your 401k, when you retire, you'll be pulling money out of that 401k, but you're not putting money into the 401k anymore. So you're pulling it out of finite resources. And some people can say, yeah, but it's getting dividends. That's good. Obviously, the more money you have, the higher the dividends pay. Versus you take that $1 million and you buy, let's say, 2 or 3 properties. You have renters on it, and you have money coming in there forever. Well, assuming they keep paying rent forever. It's a tree that keeps growing money versus a pond that you're pulling water from. That's a finite resource. And I guess, correct me if I'm wrong.
And the equity is also growing.
Exactly. So, the equity is also growing there. Yeah. You could, if something happens, you can sell one of them, or you can pull out some equity from the house and get another house if you want to. And instead of, letting your 401k or your retirement be held at the whims of the market condition, now you have renters paying, or you're making money off the property that you buy forever, and you could pass that on to your kids. They could sell it. They could do whatever. Is that basically what you're saying for the most part?
Yeah, but it's just 401k is a scam, man, and it's a scam because they're not transparent. If they just
this is Jay's thoughts. Please don't come after us. I don't think it's a scam. I do think it's good because I think taxes are a bigger scam.
But they're not transparent, man. They have to tell you straight up, like, yeah, look, you'll get $1 million, but if you do this instead, you would make like $30 million.
I do think like
it's a scam. They lie to you and they say, no, you're gonna make more money than if you would have risked it.
I'll tell you this. I think taxes are also a scam, the way they manage taxes. So you have two scams. You have the 401k scam, and then you have
Yeah.
the government tax scam.
Well, again, because they don't utilize the taxes
Correctly, right?
correctly, or you know what I mean. They say we're going to use it for this, and they don't. So it's
At least with the 401k, and yes, from what you guys, I'm defending 401ks. I think they're good. I don't think they're complete scams, but I kind of understand Jay's point of view here. But I'll say this: you have two scams, right? You have the government taxing scam, not because they don't use that money, but they don't appropriate it correctly or the way you'd like to see it appropriated. Versus the 401k scam. At least with the 401k scam, you still get some money that's yours. With the taxes, you don't even know if you're getting your money's worth.
yeah.
You're getting less of your money's worth probably with taxes than you are with your 401k. Not only that, but you can't pull out of whatever you put into taxes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think just having complete control of your money is the best way to go.
I agree.
So-
And I will say this, I do agree with the whole notion of pulling money out of your 401k.
Yeah.
Myself, only me, I agree with what you say about in the future, pulling money out of your 401k, buying maybe one or two properties that generate money every month forever. You know what I mean? As long as you continue to rent it or whatever, forever, versus letting your money sit there at the whims of the market and you don't know what happens to your 401k. Market conditions can eat 30% of it.
Yeah.
And now you have to wait a couple of, you know what I mean?
I think that happened during like 2021.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from. And in fact, I kind of do like that. So if you have a 401k and you're like 40, 45 and it's worth like 750k, it might not be me. I'm saying this based on what you told me. I think personally, me, not the JCast, but just me, might be a good idea for you to even pull out 300-400k. You get yourself like a building or whatever, and it generates. And let's say you pay it cash.
Yeah.
And you're charging $2,500 of rent depending on where you live. You're making $5,000 a month forever.
Yeah.
I know my aunt did something like that. She left to her home country.
Yeah.
She borrowed money from her home country,
Yeah.
and I think she bet against her own house in her own country, right? She took that money, she brought it back to the States, and she bought a house here.
She didn't pay taxes. I mean, wait, sorry. Continue.
Well, I think she borrowed. She just borrowed.
She
It's
used it as
borrowed money.
collateral then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she came over here, right? And she bought a property here, cash, away from the jurisdiction of the third world country.
Yeah.
And now she's renting that house out. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So if
yeah.
something happens and she's like, oh, the banks want to take my house in the country that I live in, fine, whatever. I don't care. My kids don't even go there. My kids don't even live there. I don't care. So
That's it's a limitation to that. It limits you can't scale up from there. You know what I mean?
yeah, I don't know like what her plan was. All I can tell you is that she's pretty much retired. That's just one house.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
one house. She only owns one house cash, and she's renting it out to like 4 people, I think, or 5 people. And she's making
Yeah, the IRS is gonna come after that. No, I'm just kidding.
no. I mean, no. She
Nah,
pays
it-
her taxes. She pays her
It
taxes. to the IRS.
it was a unique, strategic, legal way to do things.
Yeah.
So-
Would I recommend that? I wouldn't recommend that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean, but did it work out for her? Did she do her thing? And now she's
Yeah.
making.
That's what's
some
crazy,
money?
man. Like you could
There's so many like ways.
ways, yeah. You just could build a deal and then just
But
like
that
get things
401k
done.
thing, that 401k thing, I think it's a good idea, especially since that's money that if you didn't put it in your 401k, you were gonna get taxed on it anyways when you think about it.
Yeah.
So you're better off putting it in your 401k and then pulling it out in the future and then buying a property.
Yeah. Also, in the future, you have to look at it this way, man. You're gonna be older. You might hopefully your health might be. You just never know what might happen, right? You might be in a point where it's like that 1 million means nothing because like maybe you're sick or someone in your family's sick, and so if you have something that keeps replenishing over and over again versus like, oh, I took out the money that I accumulated over the years, now it's gone. You know, it's not the best route to just waste time and effort putting money in a
A finite thing. when you
yeah,
think about
finite
it.
thing. Yeah, so it's better to like just convert your cash into something that generates more cash, man. Just,
Yeah. So basically, cash is the. I guess cash is like, and I could be wrong for saying this, but cash might be the lowest form of wealth compared to like property ownership.
I don't even consider it wealth.
Yeah, but I mean, you can still use it to buy stuff.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You can still
yeah.
use it to make your life easier because you buy stuff, but it might be the lowest form of wealth, like compared to like owning stuff that actually has intrinsic value, property, stocks, or I don't even know, stocks is the second lowest form
Yeah.
of wealth. I don't know. But when you own like actual properties, when you yourself, when you invest in yourself, now you're a walking, talking tower of knowledge. You know what I mean? You have skills. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you speak multiple language, you can be a translator. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a form of wealth because you can use that to generate more, more wealth.
But yeah, if the market goes, if the interest rates go down, if there's more supply in the market,
Interest rates are not gonna go down anytime soon. I don't think so.
Probably in 10 years. So
and
if that happens, then I'm definitely going to tap in, pay the penalty, take all the money out of my 401k and go nuts.
yeah, no, I think you might not be. I think,
or maybe I'll just do it in increments of 25%. So I'll take 25% out, risk that, see how long it takes me to get my return on that. Do some sort of strategic plan where I'm okay. I have everything set up. It worked for me. The market seems like it's stable. It's still in the same. It's going the same way. And then
you buy a jacked up house for like 200K. The foundation, the plumbing, and the electrical are good.
Yeah.
And you just put in like 200K and you make it beautiful, and now you can rent it out for a high amount of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the thing is also, one thing I've learned is I no longer. I mean, me personally, I no longer fear seeing that good debt go up. You know what I mean?
I learned that from Kiyosaki, from the Rich Dad Poor Dad.
So like, there's people that freak out and they're like, they want to pay cash for things. Me, it comes to a point where I don't even care anymore if I ever get to pay anything off. At this point,
I learned that from Miyazaki.
Oh,
too.
really?
Yeah, because
it's all about mindset.
No,
dude.
go ahead. I'll let you finish. I'm sorry.
So once you have this mindset, you take higher risk, right? It's all about mindset, because once you change your mindset, you look at things different, right? Like someone who, I don't know, even a water bottle, right? If you're someone who actually works in a water plant that creates the water bottle, you look at it differently because you're like, yo, I know exactly how that's made. Versus someone that just goes to the store and just buys the water bottle and it's done and made, and you're like, you just drink it, you don't care, right?
So I was looking at the whole thing with debt is like, if you have a debt of $1 million, right?
Yeah.
A good debt of $1 million, right? And to service that debt, you got to pay, let's say, like $5,000 a month, right? But you're generating $15,000 a month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you never pay off that debt. That 10K is yours forever.
Exactly.
Not only that 10K is yours, and you can use that for other stuff. And if you create another LLC, the LLC that has that debt, that's that problem. That's that LLC's problem. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that's that LLC's problem. Yeah. You have another LLC that you funded with the money that you generated from LLC 1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, now I realize that if the debt that you have, and we are not encouraging people to get into debt for no reason, blah, 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 disclaimer.
Yeah, none of that consumer debt, man.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly. Like, if the debt that you have generates you more than what it costs to service that debt, that's what you can consider good debt.
Yeah.
You owe $1 million, and to service it, it costs you $5,000, but you're getting $10,000 a month, $10,000 that you would not have had you not had that $1 million worth of debt. That can be considered good debt. Because it's that money that you borrowed is generating you money now, and it's generating you more money than what it cost you to borrow that money and to service that money in the first place.
Yeah.
That when I realized that, I'm like, wait a minute, you don't even gotta pay this off.
Yeah.
You can use this money if you want to. You could use the money if you wanted to pay it off. I mean, maybe some people will do that, or you can use this money now for something unrelated to the debt. And that's when people talk about, this company declared one of his companies declared bankruptcy. Like, yeah, but you don't know how much money that company generated for him, where all his other companies are now thriving.
Yeah.
One company being sacrificed for the well-being of like 5 other companies as a result. I wouldn't call that
a loss.
Yeah.
Or a dumb business deal or businessman.
Yeah. When people talk about bankruptcies, I don't look at bankruptcies from businessmen anymore the way I used to, where it's like, bankruptcy, he's done. I look at it as like, he might be pulling a strategic move.
Yeah.
Remember when Hertz went bankrupt? Hertz is still around.
Yeah.
Was it Hertz or was it?
Yeah, I don't think
another company. It was like a car rental company. It wasn't.
Wait. Actually, yeah.
It wasn't. I don't know.
Was it Enterprise or Hertz? One of the two.
It wasn't Enterprise. It wasn't Budget. I think
it was one of the car rental ones, right?
I think it might have. I keep thinking of the electric symbol. I think it might have been Hertz.
Probably, yeah.
But that's the way I look at it, man. And now, it's pretty cool, man. Like,
because there's also different bankruptcy declarations. There's one where you restructure.
Right. There's a whole bunch. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, there's just different kinds of strategic ways to like do business.
Well, you would get in trouble though, like if the bank calls your loans, right?
Oh yeah. So
That's something we didn't
another
talk about.
thing. Yeah, because at the end of the day, I mean, if you do things behind the lender's back,
They'll be like, give us our money right now
yeah. So you have to
or sell.
Yeah. So a lot of people, most banks, they don't like it when a person puts their assets under LLCs. So I mean, based on my experience,
But why not? Why not?
because it's a higher risk. You're able to declare bankruptcy, and they can't actually go after an individual person. You get me?
Okay.
So
And so before you want to just, and
Yeah.
if you put it under an LLC, does that incur a higher interest rate as a result for them to cover like their risks?
no.
Higher-
Whatever the market interest rate is what they'll give you, and depending on the credit of the business. So that's why it's good
Okay.
to have at least 5 years under your business that's actually generating money. So you gotta actually show the bank, hey, look, I have 5 years. Here are my annual reports and it's how much my business has been generating. I want to transfer this loan from my personal loan to a LLC. And then they'll see, they'll review it. Some banks won't allow you, but most banks you could work with them. Say, hey, look, I've been paying you a mortgage for this
No,
amount or
but-
whatever, and you could just
But
transfer it over to LLC.
don't if the banks feel like it's risky, doesn't that give them an excuse to raise the interest rates?
What you mean?
Like if the banks say if you put this under LLC, it's more risk because you can declare bankruptcy and they can't come
Well-
after you. Now, in order for us to take on that risk, we want a bigger reward. So we want a reward in the form of charging you higher interest rates.
Well, it depends. Again, if your credit score, if your business credit score is low, then you're going to be a high risk and they'll give you a bad interest rate.
Oh, okay, I see what you're
So
saying. Okay.
it's the same thing as a personal loan. So
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's understandable.
so whatever is the best interest rate for a LLC at that point, they'll give you that depending on your business credit.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, that's why it's always good to open an LLC, even if you're not generating money, just to build the credit. Just get a business credit card, a business bank account, link it together, and just like
So
start doing transactions.
So one last thing before we change topics here. This is some interesting topics, and if you guys want to hear more about this stuff, let us know. We'd be more than happy to talk about it with you guys.
Yeah.
Well, do you agree with me, Jay, that the way you should structure your wealth is properties first,
Yeah.
followed by stock market investments, right? Or no, followed by you investing in yourself, like in your skills and whatever, that you can go ahead and sell in the market, followed by owning stocks and mutual funds, followed by owning cash. Is that a good order, or what would you change?
No, I would change. The first thing, depending on where you are in life, right? If you're somebody that already has capital, you inherited money, you're at a different point versus someone that
Not to cut you off, I'm saying, what should people aim for? Basically?
the average person.
Well, like, what should be, even if you don't have nothing, what should be your aim in a perfect world?
Your main goal in the hierarchy of trying to acquire wealth before you even get to real estate stocks or any of these things is yourself. You invest in yourself and you also pay yourself first. So how do you pay yourself?
I was gonna ask, what is
Yeah.
the concept of that? Doesn't mean just here you go, here's money, go spend it on shiny stuff, right?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So, damn, there's a lot of books I've read, man, where they all kind of say the same thing. The way you pay yourself first, one of the mechanisms I know I talked about the 401k, and then if the market's doing well, tap into it and pay the penalty and invest your money.
So paying yourself is basically take the money and buy investments. That's a form of paying yourself. Is that
No, pay yourself first means you would get the money before the man does, and you know who the man is, the tax man.
Right.
So you would take the money out before it gets taxed into a 401k. That's one of the ways you pay yourself first. Now, a different way you can also pay yourself first is, like you said, buy investments. But the first way would be with your 401k or
pre-tax?
Yeah, pre-tax. Any fund, because there's a lot of funds that are out there. Again, I'm not a financial,
And before you go
expert.
on, because I know there are going to be some people out here saying, "Oh, see, Jay is pro 401k after he said don't get 401k." The context of
on the
putting the money in the 401k before you get taxed, we can all agree that you'd rather have money in the 401k, even though Jay doesn't fully agree with it, than letting it get taxed by the man. That's just kind of like common sense.
Yeah, so
before anybody starts trying to,
you always want to push taxes to the future, not in all things, but in most things. So you keep pushing the tax forward, right? So you do that first. That's why it's considered paying yourself first, because before anyone touches that money, it goes to a fund that is specified to you. Of course, there's other funds out there. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm not a professional, finance person.
this is not financial advice, by the way.
So once you pay yourself first, right? You have that in a 401k fund. Now the next thing you want to do is invest in yourself, right? You want to buy, you want to make yourself marketable with your skill set, right? This is again assuming you don't have money, don't have wealth. You're starting from zero, from nowhere.
And it doesn't have to be nothing cool. It could be you could become a contractor.
Yeah,
That's a valuable skill.
And another thing is that there's this whole concept out there that people I think have understood is that I guess maybe I'm a little harsh on myself, but the whole thing about finding something that you love, right? Let's just say I don't know, I love cleaning, right? Is cleaning really gonna like make you financially free? Like, you know what I mean?
It depends, really.
Or you can start your business, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You start your business, you hire people before you know it.
But I think you have to look at the market and see what's on demand, right? And that's with anything. Like,
what do you use on a day to day? That's the place that I would start.
Yeah, what service can you provide that's valuable and that the market sees as valuable? So once you do that and you become really, really good at it, and you become at a professional level where you're making a certain amount of money that you have extra income, then you could invest in assets. But also another thing that I advise is to live below your means.
Yeah.
Because what people do is that they start increasing their lifestyle as they start increasing their income,
So
and they
what
never
you're saying
they never
is,
see the profit.
So what you're saying is I should not cop that drop top Mercedes.
Yeah,
2024.
or that Gucci bag, or which,
What would the haters say though if I didn't do that?
or like ice out your watch, and which is actually depreciating that watch. Oh, the haters, man! The haters are always gonna hate, man.
I'm joking. No, but this is some good stuff, guys. Let us know if you guys want to hear more about this stuff. We can talk about this all day, actually.
Yeah.
Politics aside, I love talking about just building, whether that's building in tech, building homes, building wealth. I love talking about that stuff.
But yeah, so once you acquire the assets and you start generating money, now you get to a place, I would say for most people, is where you want to give back, right? So basically, like right now, like I'm giving back in a way where, I mean, to be honest, this information is free. There's millions of books out there, leadership books and all this stuff talking about the same stuff. The only thing is that me and Jay, we're not charging you for this,
and we're not experts. And we're not experts. And
the only thing we ask is for a like and to subscribe.
That's even more free,
and
less work than sitting in this place doing a podcast.
But yeah, just give back. Giving back is key, because not only does it build relationships, it could help you out in the future, right? Unfortunately, the way I've seen humans are, right? We get older, and it's really hard to keep up with the current information that's going on and the way things work. So always helping those in need and giving back to the youth really helps you, because what ends up happening is it's just weird the way the world works, right? That person that you helped out, in the future might come back and help you out, or
But even if they don't help you out, the world is a better place when people are on their purpose.
Yeah,
and doing their thing.
and then
assuming your purpose is not to do something.
And I was going to end it at exactly what you just said right now. It's a better place, which means you leave a legacy. Yeah. So legacy is like the last thing for me.
And like I said, man, even if you don't leave a legacy, even if your name is not attached to anything that somebody that you've helped in the past does, the world is a better place. And that right there,
that's leaving a legacy, even though it's not like
your name is not attached to
like
it.
everyone knows about it.
Yeah, you might not have like a school name after you, like Vanderbilt or something like that, but at the end of the day, is the world is a better place, and that might be worth it. But not to get all preachy and stuff. People say they want to make the world a better place and they want to help people. The way you help people the best first is by helping yourself. Be the best version of yourself that you can be first.
Yeah.
And that way you have more to offer to people, so you can help them. I'm gonna end the podcast on that. What do you think?
No, I agree 100%, and I hope politically, financially, and just overall, spiritually, hopefully this country gets better.
All right, guys.
Peace.